If everybody face forward, please, for the cameras. Thank you. Good.
Yeah, that's kind of like. Do we need the crowd? Closer? Just for good? Maybe? Good? Okay. Yeah, great. All right, this looks great. Great.
Hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. I think I broke the mic. Hello, hello, hello. Mic check, mic check, mic check. Mic check.
Testing.
Testing, testing, testing. All right, that sounds good. Testing, testing, testing. All right. I'll try to speak loud. Hello, everybody. Welcome. Good morning, everyone. Thank you all for being here today. Your presence, despite what was supposed to be a terrible weather, it turns out to be a great weather. So it's really nice to be here with all of you as we kick this campaign. My name is Haroon. I am the political director at MIRA, and I am a proud immigrant, standing proudly with my co-MC, Lenita, and alongside all of you. We are here today to officially launch the Protecting Massachusetts Communities campaign. Our campaign coalition is chaired by MIRA, the Brazilian Works Center. It includes the ACLU of Massachusetts, SEIU State Council, SEIU 32BJ, SEIU 1199, and 509, and Massachusetts Teachers Association, and the Jewish Alliance for Law and Social Action, JALSA. Together, we are proposing a set of urgently needed priorities reform that we urge the legislature to adopt without any delay. We're in an incredible urgent moment. Across the country, we're seeing unprecedented level of funding for ICE, leading to more frequent and violent immigration raids. And Massachusetts is not immune. Just this year, we've seen children detained, families torn apart, and communities living in fear. But Here's what's powerful. Our response has been unified. Organizations and individuals across the Commonwealth have come together, not just in resistance, but with a clear vision and a plan to protect our communities. That's what this coalition is about. And the spirit. Anyway, you guys want to come in. And the spirit of protecting Massachusetts communities, we hope to emphasize that the federal threats we're facing don't just harm immigrant communities. They harm all of us. Immigrants are a crucial part of our communities. They are our families, friends, neighbors, co-workers, caregivers, and local businesses. And when those individuals are wrongly detained or taken away, we all feel their absence. The community as a whole suffers, and the state suffers. So today, we're proudly unveiling the Protecting Massachusetts Communities, a coalition with our name, our logo, and most importantly, our shared policy priorities. Together, we are fighting to pass real protections that match the real threats our communities are facing. And with that said, I would like to pass the mic to my friend and co-MC, Lenita, to introduce herself and kick our program. Lenita?
Good morning, everyone. My name is Lenita. I am the executive director at the Brazilian Workers Center. The Brazilian Workers Center is a 30-year organization that has been support immigrant workers and regardless the nationality. We say Brazilians because it was Brazilians workers that founded and gave this name, but anyone that comes to our door, we are trying to do the best we can to support. We don't care about the skin color, we don't care about nationality, we don't care if they have accent like me or if they don't even speak Portuguese. And this is what we are about. But unfortunately, right now, people like me, and I am a U.S. citizen, I carry my passport with me because I know I can be detained just because the way I look like or because of my accent. I have a son that is 15 years old, and when I saw Marcelo, that's going to speak later, and this other children in Everett, that is only 13 that got arrested, I thought about my son. Even he born here, he looks just like me. He doesn't have an ID yet, and I'm not trust him to carry his passport because he's a teenager, right? So that's what we're living today. And this is not about just, has nothing to do about criminals because we have law enforcement that will take care of that. So this is about racism, this is about how we look like, and this is about an agenda that this administration wants to be knowing for being the most uh, administration that has deported the most people. This is all about what they care and what they want to do, not about our laws, not about our community, not about our citizens. So uh, I'm proud to be part of this coalition, to be a co-chair with MIRA and have many other organizations and unions that care about this country and the communities and the immigrants and the people that build this country. So and that's why we're here today to relaunch this campaign, to ask you to talk with your elected official and to be with us all the way because we want to make this possible. It has been over 15 years that we are fighting for the same protections. So it's time to get it done. So without further ado, I want to call here uh, Representative Priscilla Sousa. Please come to speak with us.
Thank you so much for the opportunity to be here. My name is Priscilla Sousa. I am one of the state representatives. Serving here, I served the 6th Middlesex District. It's Framingham, where We are incredibly diverse, and this issue has touched us. I can't really put into words, and I'm trying really hard not to cry. But I will say, before I had the title of state representative, before I was a public servant, before I was everything, I am an immigrant. I was born in Brazil, and I came here, and prior to being a state representative, I wasn't documented for 9.5 years. I understand the fear well. And let me tell you, by standing here together today, we are ensuring our immigrant brothers and sisters that no, what is happening is not right. What is happening does not make them an inconvenience to our community, does not make them prey to be hunted. And it gives them the security, it gives them the breathing room to be able to attend school normally, to be able to run their businesses. We are hurting. This is not just an immigrant issue. This is affecting the economic development of our towns. This is affecting our school districts. This is affecting our local businesses. This is affecting our day-to-day lives. This is affecting our collective mental health. Everyone, every single one of our children, seeing masked officers on our streets, taking people down, hunting people down who have absolutely no prior criminal record, pose no threat to society. This stopped being about public safety a very long time ago, if it ever was. So thank you for standing here and sending that message and standing with our immigrant community and for all of us. Thank you.
Thank you, Rep. Sousa. I'd like to call Rep. Cruz right here, please.
Good morning. Buenos dias.
Bom dia.
Bonjour. Thank you. Oh, there we go. I knew there'd be more. And it's such a tremendous honor to be here today to rally for our immigrant communities alongside this incredible campaign. I'm tremendously honored to be working alongside of my tremendous colleagues, Senator Eldridge, Senator Miranda, and Rep. Sousa, to be fighting for the Safe Communities Act, which we must pass in this session. And I want to talk about our values as a Commonwealth and where we stand at the People's House. This house here, we have work to do. We need to ensure that we're living up to our values and our commitment to be a place of equity and justice for all. And that means for our immigrant communities that have lived in the shadows as a proud son of immigrants, that we need to stand up for them at a time in which we have a lawless federal government who is coming into our community and tearing our families apart. And that must end. But that also means that as a state, as local municipalities, that we have to stand up and be willing to say that we will not lend a hand to ICE to tear apart our communities. Instead, we will send a message of true public safety, that regardless of your documentation status, that you can come to a local police department and report a crime without the fear of being deported. Just 3 weeks ago, I joined my community in Salem and 400 people at the ICE facility in Burlington to join a constituent, Blanca, who has been in this country, in her country, for 30 years. She's medically fragile. She's a Christian. She escaped persecution to come here, and she built a business that supported and uplifted women out of poverty. And unfortunately, Blanca had to live with the same fear that so many of our immigrants have to live with. That regardless of the fact that they're doing the right thing, they're showing up to their appointments, and they are members of our community, at any time, ICE could come and rip them away from the only home that is truly theirs. And that's not right. And that's why I'm calling on my colleagues to understand that the fabric of our Commonwealth was built by immigrants, and that we have to do something this session to stand up for them. So I thank you all for being here today. Please continue to raise up your voices to pass all of the bills that are within this campaign. And when we fight, we win. When we fight, we win. Si se puede. Thank you. Thank you. I also just want to quickly acknowledge someone who's in the audience, one of our champions, Bill Scott.
longtime champion of immigrants in the Senate, Senator Sal DiDomenico.
Woo!
Good morning, everyone. Morning. So I stand here today with all of you feeling the exact same way I'm feeling, disgusted by what is happening by our federal government. I will say this, Manny Cruz was tall. It might work for you, buddy. Two of us, it didn't work. I'm not sure what's going on with this mic right now. Just go for it. He said. I'm going to talk as loud as I can.
Anybody have a bullhorn? What do you want to say? We'll say it.
So we are disgusted by what's happening in the federal government. We know there is an alternative. The only alternative we have right now is to fight back against the hate, against people breaking the law, and to combat a weak guy in the Oval Office. Weakness is a trait that he has a lot of. And weak people try to divide and conquer because they can't do it by themselves. So what they do is drive a wedge in between people so they can fill that void. We have a rogue agency coming into our communities every single day of the week, breaking the law, causing terror in our communities, breaking up families. And by the way, the guy in the Oval Office talks about families all the time, family values. But he's fine with breaking up families all across America. He's fine with breaking up families, taking children, like Arthur in my own community in Everett, from their family and bringing them down to Virginia with no contact from his family or friends, a 13-year-old minor. This is what our country has become under this guy in the Oval Office. And if you notice, I'm not saying his title, because I don't respect him as that title. And he's not my president, by the way. He is not my president. I will say that publicly, and I've said it on the floor of the Senate. He doesn't respect people that I love and care about. I don't respect him either. And now we hear all these crazy thoughts about, let's bring back all the rights to the states. Bring back the rights to the states. That's what they say in Washington, D.C. Well, our state of Massachusetts is a welcoming state. We welcome people from all around the world to come live here and reside in our communities. We wrap our arms around people who need our help the most in this state. We respect due process in this state. We love our neighbors in this state. So the guy in the Oval Office, get your rogue agency out of our state. Get ICE out of our state. Stop terrorizing our people in Massachusetts and go back to where you came from, a place of hate, a place of division. You do not belong in the Oval Office in this country. You have a checklist at your desk. How do I hurt immigrants? How do I hurt poor people? How do I hurt people who respect the law? How do I hurt the court system and weaponize the DOJ against people in his own country? This is what we have become. This is who we have in the Oval Office. And if we don't speak up and we don't fight back, then he will fill that void. And his cronies will all come in and do exactly what he is trying to accomplish. Turn this country into something our forefathers never thought it would become today. This is not what they envisioned our country being 250 years ago. We do not have a dictator, but that is what he wants to be. We don't have a tyrant, but that is what he wants to be as well. We have to fight back. And the guy in the Oval Office, your time is up. because 7 million people walked across this country and said, you are no longer the guy we want in this office, and you are no longer going to be the person that we just stand quiet and let happen exactly what you want to happen in this country. So I am here today to support this coalition, to support all of you in this community, in this state, who are standing up and fighting back. That is what we need. We need fighting back outside here. We need fighting back. We need fighting back in the Capitol in Washington, D.C. And we need people on the ground who are not going to let this continue. So as your state senator for 2 gateway communities, in particular Everett and Chelsea, where kids in my community are not going to school, people are not going to work, people are not going to businesses in these communities and causing them to lose their own homes because there's no revenue coming into their businesses, and causing trauma in our families and terrorizing folks. And we're lucky we have people like Gladys Vega in Chelsea that's fighting back every single day. You know, Gladys is a hero among us, and I don't want to single out one person, but I will single out her because she is doing amazing work there. But we need folks like Gladys every single day doing this kind of work. So let's pass the Safe Communities Act. Let's show people that we are working on their behalf, and show people that we recognize what's happening here and we are going to act. Words don't matter anymore. Words are long gone. Words don't make a difference. Only action is what gets us to a place we can bring dignity back to this country. Thank you very much, everyone. Have a great day and keep the fight going.
Thank you, Senator DiDomenico. As Senator said, when someone in our community is hurt, what do? Stand up, fight back. What do? Stand up, fight back. So as a mother, I really didn't want to have to call a team here right now. But this is urgent work that we have to do. And stories, real stories, will help us to understand better. Because it looks like we became a number. But here in Massachusetts, we're not a number. We are humans. And no human being is illegal. And we will hear from Marcelo Gomes, an 18 years old student from Milford High School, who was detained by ICE on his way to volleyball practice. Marcelo, please everyone welcome Marcelo.
I was wondering if it was going to stop working for me to come short as well. You're good. All right, so my name is Marcelo Gomes. I first wanted to thank all of you for being here. It definitely means a lot. What I've learned from these past couple of months is that our words aren't working anymore. So to see people come all out here, like you guys are all so special, and I hope you all know that. Genuinely. Woo! To take action and try to make the country a better place is always so beautiful to see. What kind of hurts me at the moment is that there's a lot of people in my town, and I bet in a lot of other towns as well. Us teenagers have to work a little extra harder to take care of our town. Me personally, there's this little girl that lives in my house right now. She's 10 years old because her dad got taken from ICE, and her mom is the only one in the house that can work. So she's by herself, and every day after school she comes home and she asks me, "Oh, do you know if my dad's gonna come back?" And I don't even like. All I do is just hang out with her. I treat her nicely because I don't really know what to say, because no one really knows what's going to happen to her dad or what's going to happen to all these people. But like I said, the fact that you guys are all here making a move and trying to make this place better, it makes me so happy. And if you guys ever need me for anything, I'm going to be here all the time, supporting immigrants and helping our community more and more every day. Thank you.
Thank you, Marcel. Wow. Thank you so much for sharing your story and for being brave out here. We really appreciate it. I also just want to mention, I know the senator mentioned the 13-year-old who was taken. His mother was supposed to be here to tell their story. today, but their bond was pushed to today, so that's why she's not here. The reason why I feel that it's important to mention that is I think their story should be heard. I'm talking about a 13-year-old, and honestly, as a parent, I cannot imagine. So again, Marcelo, thank you so much for sharing your story. And now our next speaker, we would like to call Tom O'Brien, the founder of HYM Investment Group, a strong voice for the role of businesses and defending immigrant community. Tom?
Thank you very much. Good morning, everybody, and thank you very much, Marcel, for your courage. It's an honor to follow you to this microphone. My name again is Tom O'Brien, and I lead a company called the HYM Investment Group. Our company is responsible for a series of projects across the greater Boston skyline, and these projects have secured thousands of jobs for Massachusetts residents, and they have also secured the investment of billions of dollars of capital into Massachusetts. So I'm here, I think, in my role as a business leader, but I'm also here today with all of you as a brother, as a father, as a business person, yes, but as a person who cares deeply about the United States of America. So I'm here to say that this is a coalition. This is a group of people who are working together from human advocacy organizations, from labor unions, from business groups. All of us care deeply about this issue, and we care deeply about it, I think, because of two main reasons that I thought I'd talk about today. The two reasons to me are faith and intelligence. If I could just cover faith briefly, maybe not in my role as a business person, but it seems to me so clear that the people who control the White House and the House of Representatives and the United States Senate love to talk about their faith and their adherence to faith. And I think for many of us today who are familiar with faith, particularly with the Gospels, we would direct them to go back and read the Gospels, to read it again and again and again. Because as the testimony before me has so eloquently said, Marcel and others, the people who are being affected here are people who are family members, children, mothers, fathers. We are separating families and affecting people in a way that is decidedly not in keeping with the Gospels. So it's wrong, and it's wrong on so many different levels. And I think that's fundamentally why many of us gather here today, because it is wrong and it's so contrary to our faith. That's the first and most important reason I'm here today. But the second is, as a business person, as I said, the word is intelligence. And in this case, it's lack of intelligence. This is a really stupid idea for the United States of America to be pursuing this plan for the United States. For 250 years, we worked to build a brand as a country in which we're the good guys. We're the good people. We're the place that people are attracted to. So for generations and generations and generations, people woke up around the world. My ancestors woke up in the nation of Ireland 2 generations ago and said, we need to go to a better place. We need to go to a place where we can raise our family in peace with predictable education opportunities and opportunities for our kids to move forward. We need to go to a great place, and that place is the United States of America. They didn't say, please take me to China, or please take me to Russia, or please take me to any other country that you can name on the planet. They said, take me to the United States of America. And as a business proposition, that was a really huge change for us. It helped us create all of this, everything that we see. So my role, I know, is to be here as a business person, but it's really to kind of point out the obvious, which is this is stupid what we're doing. Every time we say that graduate students are not invited to Boston or to the United States of America, every time we say that family members are not invited, and in fact we want to violently arrest you with masked people and send you back to countries where you may not have ever visited, every time that happens, it sends a message to the world that we are shooting ourselves in the foot from a business perspective, and that is an incredibly stupid thing to do. So on behalf of the coalition representing the business folks who are part of this whole thing and the group of concerned people, I thank you all for being here. I thank everybody for the courage for being here, and I'm very proud to stand up with everybody this morning. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Tom. Our next speaker is a professor from UMass Boston, and is a proud member of Massachusetts Teacher Association. She's here to speak on how immigration enforcement impacts students and family across the school. Please help me to welcome Sana.
Thank you so much. And I'm so proud to be here today and part of this incredible effort. My name is Sana Haroon, and I have been faculty at UMass Boston for 12 years. I'm proud and privileged to be a member of a vibrant, diverse, and close-knit community where our students come first, and our commitment to the city of Boston has shaped program development, curriculum, and scholarship. Like other universities across the United States, UMass Boston has increasingly attracted students and faculty from around the world to study and work and make their lives in Massachusetts. Non-citizens on our campus have worked alongside and indistinguishably from citizen colleagues on quantum computing and cancer research, as well as race, vaccines, gender and sexuality, climate change, colonialism, immigration, and democracy. They have long been assured of their First Amendment rights to speak out and attend protests, and they have enjoyed the fullness of life that included political beliefs and civic participation. And that is why they came here. Now, these members of our community have been issued visas and sometimes green cards and pathways to American citizenship. But being so-called legal does not make them safe. Our non-citizen colleagues have been warned against explicitly or implicitly critiquing government policies in their work or actions. In the last 6 months, international students and faculty have been targeted by being subjected to surveillance of their social media posts, scrutiny of their academic agendas, and interrogation at points of exit and entry from the United States. The cancellation of our undergraduate and graduate students' visas for traffic violations and other minor charges indicate an ever-increasing scope of this attack. Visa and green card holders have been warned against traveling, not even to carry out fieldwork or to attend international conferences, restricting their ability to pursue their research. Those who are currently outside the country are uncertain whether they will receive visas or status renewal and will be able to return. My international colleagues and students feel targeted, they feel vulnerable, and they feel unsafe. Many colleagues are considering opportunities outside the United States, and international student enrollments are declining. The federal government's exercise of surveillance and scrutiny through ICE is the threat of arrest and deportation of visa and green card holders in our places of work, on the street, or from our homes, doing the very work that is rooted in a vision for and has produced the excellence of our universities. It is designed to terrorize and to divide and silence our communities. It will undermine Massachusetts universities that are global beacons of academic excellence and transnational community. If our international faculty and students leave now, alongside other immigrants, under this campaign of terror, our universities and our society will never recover.
Thank you, MTA, stand with the immigrant community. Our next speaker is a field director from 32BJ, which represents 10,000 of service workers across Commonwealth. Many of them has experienced the trauma of ICE enforcement firsthand. Antoniel Figueroa, please join me.
When immigrants are under attack, what do we do?
Stand up, fight back.
When immigrants are under attack, what do we do? What do we do? Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Antoniel Figueroa. I'm the Employee Relations Coordinator for 32BJ SEIU, one of the largest unions in the country with a majority immigrant membership. What a beautiful day. Marcelo, thank you for leading us. We do this for you and for others that are in the same situation. Thank you. I wish that I was as brave as Marcelo when I was that young. In Massachusetts alone, we represent over 20,000 office cleaners, security officers, airport workers, and other essential property service workers who keep our economy running every day. We are proud to be part of this coalition fighting for legislation that will ensure the separation of federal immigration enforcement from the work of our state and local law enforcement agencies. These reforms always have been important and have always made sense, but now they're urgent. Ensuring that local police can focus on the job we all need them to perform, to keep local residents safe wherever we live across the state and no matter where we are born. We may not be able to stop the Trump administration from cracking down on immigrants now that the Republican Congress tripled their budget, making ICE budget bigger than some military in the world and the biggest law enforcement agency in the country. But we can ensure that our local authorities do not get swept up into this malicious monstrosity that is happening in our communities. Almost 80% of the immigrants detained in Massachusetts do not have a criminal record. A fact that my union experienced firsthand last month when 3 of our members were detained and sent out of state, despite the fact that 3 of them have valid work authorization papers. Yeah, we can boom. One of them was going to register his change of address with immigration. He was arrested. The other 2 were just on the street. One returning from his late night job, cleaning a downtown office building and get apprehended by ICE. The other one on his way to his second job, both in immigrant neighborhoods that are experiencing the terror of ICE every day. We are doing what we can to support these members and their families. And we expect soon to paint a broader picture about the widespread detention of immigrants who have a legal right to work and came to this country seeking safety for themselves and for their families. And one of the things that we can do, and one of the things that our elected representatives must do, is to pass the measure that will make clear that Massachusetts state and local authorities will have nothing to do with the vicious persecution of our co-workers, friends, and family that Donald Trump has unleashed. 32BJ stands with protecting Massachusetts communities, and we invite you to join us too. Thank you.
Thank you, Danielle, and thank 32BJ for being a powerful voice in this fight. 32BJ. Now, I would like to call Liz Sweet, Executive Director of MIRA Coalition and a co-chair of this coalition, to talk to you.
Thank you. Okay. So great to be out here today with all of you. And while so many of the speakers already have talked about the fact that, of course, we are here to ask the State House to act, we also want to take a moment to recognize the leadership that they've already shown this year. This year, the State House, thanks to the work of so many of our incredible champions, made the bold decision to allocate $5 million in funding to support a new immigration legal services program to ensure that more of our Massachusetts neighbors and coworkers have access to legal services if they are arrested by ICE. The terrifying reality is that for so many individuals who walk into an immigration court hearing, the stakes are so high. They're facing potential permanent separation from family members. They may be facing deportation to a country that they don't even know. And yet, absent a program like what Massachusetts funded this year, they do not have the right to a government-paid attorney. And so many individuals walk into these courts, whether they're 18 or any age, they walk in and face an ICE attorney who's arguing for their deportation, and they have to defend themselves alone. And so everything changes when folks have the ability to have counsel representing them. with a counsel, anyone going into immigration court, the statistics show they are 5 times more likely to be successful at winning their case and winning the right to remain here in this country. Not everyone is going to win their case, but with an attorney, they have a fair chance. And that's what we're here to demand. We are grateful to our state leaders for funding this program for the first year, but we want to call on them to renew this funding and make this a permanent program by passing the Immigrant Legal Defense Act. Woo! Woo! Our Massachusetts neighbors deserve a fair chance in court. Together, this incredible coalition of labor, of educators, of immigrant rights organizations, of businesses, of faith-based organizations, and so many more, we have all come together to form this coalition, protecting our Massachusetts communities. We are working together to protect against this overreach and terror that ICE is inflicting on our communities. Together, we can speak up. We are speaking up here today to demand real leadership from our State House to pass these bills. Together, we call on our leadership to take action now, because when we fight, when we fight,
Thank you, Liz. Thank you. Thank all of you for being here again today. Before we close out, we would like to now open it up for press questions. You can ask a question of anyone who spoke here, or if you also just want to pull somebody to do an interview, you can do that. But we just want to open this time to press